Lagos APC support group backed Tinubu's second-term bid, endorses Hamzat for 2027. The Lagos State chapter of the APC Support Group Council has endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for a second term and thrown its support behind the party's governorship candidate in Lagos State, Dr. Obafemi Kadri Hamzat, ahead of Nigeria's 2027 election. The group made its position known on Friday during a press conference in Lagos, where its state coordinator, Honorable Omosoya Adebayo, said the council would step up grassroots mobilization for the All Progressive Congress APC. Mr. Adebayo called on party supporters, youth, women, professionals, artisans, traders, and other community groups to support the APC and its candidates in the forthcoming election. While the group supports Tinubu, the council said its backing from President Tinubu was based on what it described as the administration economic reforms, infrastructure projects, education programs, and human capital development initiative. Mr. Adeboye cited road construction and rehabilitation, bridge and rail projects, public finance reforms, investment promotion, education, student financing, vocational training, youth empowerment, and social investment among areas where the government had made progress. The group acknowledged that some of the economic reforms had created difficulties for Nigerians in the short term, but argued that the measures were necessary to achieve longer-term economic stability. The government's economic record is expected to remain a major issue in the 2027 election campaign, with voters likely to assess the administration against the cost of living, food prices, employment, electricity, supply, and household purchasing power. Hamzat endorsed for Lagos governorship. The APC Support Group Council also endorsed Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, describing him as the candidate best positioned to continue the party's administration in Lagos State. Hamzat is the APC's candidate for the 2027 Lagos governorship election. The group described him as experienced and capable of sustaining the state development agenda while pledging to mobilize support for its campaign across communities. Issues including flooding, waste management, security, infrastructure, and residents' quality of life are expected to feature prominently in the Lagos campaign. Grassroots mobilization. The press conference also focused heavily on grassroots mobilization. Honorable James Fatoyinbo, identified as the event as Director of Foreign Affairs of the Grassroots Movement for Tinubu, said political support groups had a responsibility to explain government policies to ordinary voters. He said the campaign message needed to be reached by communities in language that could understand. The council said it plans to work with other support organizations to mobilize voters across wards and community, women and young people. Mrs. Oluwafunmilayo Adejoke Kwale Uwu, who also spoke at the event, urged women, young people, and other groups to support President Tinubu and APC candidates in 2027. She highlighted the role of women in politics and expressed support for Princess Damilola Sonoyan James, the APC's deputy governorship candidate in Lagos. Dr. Lawrence Enahulu, identified as the zonal coordinator of the APC Support Group Council, also called the president's re-election, arguing that the administration should be given more time to consolidate its economic reform. Princess Adegbenga Odofin, represented the grassroots movement for Tinubu, said Prince Adegbenga Odofin, representing the grassroots movement for Tinubu, said his organization will continue working with other support groups to mobilize support for Tinubu, Hamzat, and other APC candidates. What the endorsement mean? The endorsement marked another step in early political mobilization ahead of the 2027 election. For the APC support group, the challenge will be translate their endorsement into grassroots support and convince voters of the government's achievement and the party's plan for the future. But political endorsements alone do not guarantee votes. As the election approaches, the APC and its candidates are likely to face scrutiny over issues that directly affect Nigerians, including the economy, food prices, job security, infrastructure, and public service. The 2027 campaign is therefore expected to increasingly shift from political endorsement to competing records, policy, and promise as party seeks to win the confidence of voters.